Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to the F-11, one of my favorite jets in the game, just for its beauty, if not for its matchmaker. This is a jet that faces some very, very tough competition in an up tier with, it's starting to make sense now why people complain about the Lightning. Because if an enemy plays the Lightning properly, they are just guaranteed to shoot down an F-11. With their missile, you literally cannot pull hard enough to avoid it. So when they get a lock, you are dead. Anyway, that's just fine. This is going to be one of those matches where, well, this is going to be the best start to a match that I've ever had, and I will share it with you all. Now, I am by no means a jet ace in the higher tiers, and 9.0 is definitely as high as I want to go for a while. It's a little ridiculous, although I must admit I did have some good times in my Japanese Phantom, but I had a lot more fun when I was just killing ground targets. Because Phantom, guys. Phantom. Anyway, the F-11, as I've already mentioned plenty of times, is just a gorgeous, gorgeous plane. And you can see that it has incredible amounts of push. We're outrunning Hunters. We're even outrunning the other F-11 on our team. Maybe because we've gotten our, what would you call them, mobility upgrades? If it was a ground vehicle, I guess aerial mobility is a thing, so why don't we just call it that? Flight performance upgrades, that sounds a little bit better. Anyway, we have most of those. I think we still have airframe to get, but all that really does for us is maybe increase some survivability. That looks like a good lock. Coming down from above, the missile's going to be able to move faster on the target, and it scoops in for the kill. Vautour is not the kind of aircraft that can dodge missiles well either, a fact that I know full well from my Shalom Vautour. And I'm not sure I should have gotten that one, but missiles don't render very well in this edition of War Thunder, and you know what, that's just fine by me at this point. 2 launches, 2 kills, and a little risky here, but I'm fairly certain it'll hold the lock against that Vautour and not whack one of my teammates. And because of that, I almost whacked one of my teammates with a missile. Sorry, fellas. I only pretend to know what I'm doing here at 9.0. It looks like, oh, friendly fire shot down that Hunter with guns. A friendly F-11. Shame. I'm thinking of when Tech was looking at my player stat card, and that's capital T Toshio _ 1987 if you want to see what a whale looks like in War Thunder. But basically, I don't have time to play the game the way I used to, so I pretty much just pick up a premium or 2 every month or so and just play that until the sun stops shining. I don't know. But the F-11, not a premium, but definitely a primo experience. Nice way to start a match. 4 missiles, 3 kills. And I'm also enjoying my new decals. I shelled out a couple of bucks on the market to get the flame decals, and I think both of those stickers I hadn't earned. The Cerberus or I earned the horsey, the seahorse, whatever it is. Anyway, it's OP Senator time, and if you're not familiar with OP Senator, he is what is he? He's like some kind of moderator, I think, for Gaijin. He is a Gaijin, I think he's a volunteer or an employee, something like that. This guy deserves to be paid, is what I'm saying. Delightful man. He's a father. He's a very hard-working man, and he pours his passion into the game of War Thunder. This is a Gaijin employee who definitely plays the game a lot, and his skills at top tier are being demonstrated right here. I consider this top tier. I know 10 point whatever is top tier, but hush, this is Toshio right now, okay? This is the guy who prefers his rank 3, rank 4 premiums and a nice little bit of wine heavily diluted with water for his health. So some people view the world one way and others view it a more different mode, if you will. And picking up the kill against his greatest foe, T114, one of the most effective premiums in the game. There's pretty much nothing that little toaster can't do, and I've gotten a lot more deadly with that thing over the recent months than ever before. And unlike his forays in, what's that thing called? The German Speedy Wheelie Boy? You know what I'm talking about. See how good I am at top tier? I'm the best. But he's not going to do so well in the Bo 105. It's too bad. It's a really fun little helicopter just for its mobility, its clean lines. It's a cute little helicopter. Unfortunately, the replay system, as of the update that I recorded this, which was not 1.101, so I have yet to really check that out. It doesn't display helicopter view modes properly. The scope is messed up, so you're not able to see what he was actually aiming at with those missiles, so we gave you a little cinematic view of his fiery death, where he nonetheless picked up 2 ground kills. Now, moving in on an enemy helicopter of his own and taking it, well, it'll go down with the cannons in a quick pass. Looks like the enemy is trying to fire some rockets, and only a G91 can pull off a loop like that. Incredible. Taking some, what really seems like damage over time from the helipad flak, which I really feel doesn't belong in mixed battles. I understand that it can be helpful in helicopter during confrontation, although I'd say it's generally rendered irrelevant anyway, because helicopters can engage outside of its effective range, and it's really annoying to have that bubble of space really close to the front lines rendered hostile, adding to the fact you can't actually destroy the helipad AA guns. So yeah, I don't like it. It's everything that I don't like about how to balance aspects of War Thunder. But enough of that. I understand why it exists, and you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. And you see, OP dealt with it. He got out of the area, and he got yellowed up some. So now that his G91 is dedicated to The Simpsons and coming very close, within inches I should say, of tearing off a wing to that tree, OP observing the battlefield, finding enemy vehicles and some enemy SPAA in the process, and hopefully getting his Nord AGMs on target, or should I say, what are they? Nord ASM anti-ship missiles, right? Anti-ship, yes, of course. It's certainly not an anti-tank missile. Wahahaha! Anyway, picking up another 2 kills, again in rapid succession. Something you'll notice is something of a theme for this tier, and you may also notice the almost complete lack of sound, but a lot of pop explosions and some whiz-bang near misses. That's right, this is the cursed version of War Thunder audio that we experienced during the last major update, and thankfully the game has grown beyond that. It was a little bit annoying to have Gaijin bring to the live servers such an unfinished sounds suite, but I just sort of give them license to do things like that now. Not because I like it, but because I prefer acceptance to the alternative, which is to be angry all the time, because it's not changing. Gaijin is still using live servers to test almost every aspect of the game, and that just means that we're going to encounter things that, well, we get to be unpaid testers, as it were. And in the end, the benefit is it allows Gaijin to develop a game. Oh, by the way, this is a replay bug. He does have AGMs on his wings right now. We just can't see them because replay bug. Anyway, where was I going with this? Right! The bugs in this game, the bumps on the road, the what would you call it? The lack of polish, I think, is probably the best way to put it, that is endemic with the game. Also allows, and I've talked about this before, but now's a good opportunity, it also allows this game to get new material, new mechanics, new features, new vehicles very, very rapidly. And I'm the kind of guy, I've played this game a lot, and I have so many, I have hundreds and hundreds of vehicles to experience in this game. And yet, I'm inclined to say, slow down on the development and just polish the game. But that's not Gaijin's way for this game. And frankly, this game is much, much more profitable than it would be if it was slowed and polished. It's just the way that War Thunder's audience has voted with their money, right? Because it's the payers, like me, you're welcome, that end up making this game possible and bringing in new players to the game by all of the advertising. And by the way, I've noticed a lot more War Thunder advertising in the past year or two, mostly this last year. They must be making a lot of money off of things like the marketplace that have come to the game and some of the new premiums. They're putting that money to use. They're putting it to work, by the way. And you're like, well, why don't they hire 70 more developers? Sometimes having a big team doesn't work. Fallout 76 had a big team, okay? I know it wasn't the biggest team, but it was a massive number of people. And look at that piece of shit. So, I mean, it got better, but it took a long time now, didn't it? And it's still less polished of a product, yes, than War Thunder. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent while OP Senator has gone off on a rampage, and he's not done yet. By the way, you see Life of Boris, PewDiePie's Brofist, and what else is that on there? I can't tell what the third decal is, but those first two are available for free. Just check out Life of Boris on YouTube. Check out his War Thunder videos, and you'll get a link to his booster. You can use that link to get his decal for free, as well as some other bonuses, even if you're not creating a new account. Same for PewDiePie's War Thunder video, which I really enjoyed, by the way. I'm something of a fan of PewDiePie. I feel like he's sort of the grandpa of YouTube, and as a YouTube content creator myself, I look up to him as somebody who has been around and has seen all kinds of things. And every community of workers, every what should I call it? What's it called when you get a bunch of skilled artisans? Every guild needs a godfather. And we have ours in PewDiePie. I don't know. Maybe you'd prefer somebody like iDubbbz, but whatever. I'd love to see iDubbbz play War Thunder. He'd probably have lots to say about it, and I'd also like to see what he came up with for a decal. Anyway, oh, Mr. Beast, of course. Couldn't forget that one right there on the booty. But I can't really comment on the tactics that OP is using. He's very aware of what's going on in the match. It's situational. Oh, good timing, Toshio. Yes, he's so aware. He's hyper aware. He's keenly running into a hillside as you do. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that paying attention is super important in War Thunder, and knowing where to put your attention, because if you hyper-focus, you do not get a good overall view of what's going on. But with the markers and the mini-map and the sounds, the way they are in this game, you can pinpoint people before they pinpoint you, and then you can put prickly little pokes into them and cause them problems. Perchance, peradventure, if you're perspicacious about your procurement of propellants and punctuary. What? Okay, it's enough alliteration. Anyway, beautiful match, a true carry, a violent display of skill and aggression by a man who is just the greatest guy. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.